How are we doing, guys? Leeds TV, Rotherham versus Leeds, and what a massive game this is. For so many reasons, it's a massive, massive game. You know, it's a big opportunity for us this weekend. You know, I think with Sheffield United and Norwich playing over the weekend as well, hopefully both teams are going to take points off each other, or at least one's going to drop points, and it presents an opportunity for us to sort of build a bit of a gap. But at the end of the day, it's a big, big game this on Saturday, and it's a tough game as well. You know, Rotherham is not a nice place to go to. You know, it was a tough game from a lot of away teams. I think Derby have got beat there this season. Sheffield United have dropped points there this season. A couple of other teams have dropped points there this season. It's not an easy place to go to. Difficult away day. You know, Paul Warne, I think, is an impressive manager. You know, he's a really impressive young coach. And I quite like the way his Rotherham team played. I think at Ellen Road this season, probably one of the better teams I've seen at Ellen Road this season. I know we won the game in the end, but for 60, 65 minutes, they really, really held their own against us. And to be honest with you, when you look at it earlier on in the season, we went into that Rotherham game at home on the back of the Stoke win 3-1 and the Derby win 4-1 away. And the way Rotherham set up that day was even more impressive. You know, we were on fire at that stage of the season. We were at our absolute best, and they sort of held us for 65, 70 minutes. In the end, our quality told on the day, but maybe it's going to be a little bit more difficult. You know, we're going away from home this time. We're not in the best of form ourselves. If it's 4 defeats out of 5 in all the competitions, you know, it doesn't feel like 4 defeats out of 5. Definitely not. You know, we played well mostly. We weren't great at the weekends, but mostly we played well over the last 5 games. Just the margins have gone slightly against us. You know, there's still stuff to improve on, of course, but you know, it's a bit different now. You know, there's a lot of pressure on this one. You know, we've got the Norwich game coming up as well. Borough after that. Some really tough games. QPR away as well. West Brom, Swansea. And I think the pressure is on us now. You know, all games in the Championship are difficult. All games are different in the Championship. But for me, it's a big opportunity this on Saturday. You know, it's a big, big opportunity. But just to go on to the press conference, which has already been done before I started filming, it's looking like the probable team is going to be another 4-1-4-1. Kiko Garcia looks likely to make his debut. Luke Ayling, Liam Cooper, Calvin Phillips is looking likely to be part of the back four with Pontus suspended. I wanted Apo Halm, but we're going to go on to that later on in the preview. Left back, probably LUFC. Holding midfield, Forshaw. On the right, probably expecting Jack Clark. Centre mid's probably Matthias Klick, Pablo Hernandez, and Jack Harrison on the left. Kemal Roof through the middle. And that's based on the press conference. Now, Barry Douglas, Stuart Dallas are supposedly back, but probably looking likely to be on the bench because they're involved in the under-23s on next Monday. So it looks like unlikely they're going to start. But we'll have to wait and see. But I think that's probably going to be what we're looking at the starting 11. But I think the big thing is the centre-back issue. You know, obviously Pontus being suspended. I really want to see Apo Halm come in. You know, Apo Halm, 6'5", 6'6", aggressive on set pieces. That's one thing he has been. You know, I don't think he's the perfect centre-back yet. I don't think he's a starting centre-back yet. But he would have been really handy in a game like this for me. You know, really able to attack the set pieces, just attack them, get the ball out of the box. That's one of Rotherham's strengths. They've got a lot of height in the team, got good set piece takers. That's a real worry for me. You know, I think how we're going to defend the set pieces. You know, got Michael Smith up front for Rotherham, very good at holding the ball up, very good at flick-ons, winning the headers, both defensively and in an attacking sense. He's a massive threat for Rotherham. So we've got to cope with that. And I just feel that Apo Halm would have been the man more to cope with that. But I can see why Apo Halm isn't playing this game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not questioning that. You know, I think in terms of playing the ball at the back, missing Pontus leaves a lot of the reliability on Liam Cooper. I don't think that's Cooper's strength, playing the ball at the back. I think that's more suited to Calvin Phillips, which I think from that point of view, we're always looking to be what we can do to the opposition rather than trying to stop the opposition's strengths in that lot. And I think the opposition's strength is massively Michael Smith up front. You know, certainly in an attacking sense in that lot. So I can see why Calvin's playing, but for me, I'd rather have seen Apo Halm playing in centre-back. Colin's mentioned this as well, with Calvin Phillips playing in his holding midfield role and Adam Forshaw push further up the pitch. You know, because I just feel, you know, Adam Forshaw's not playing especially badly. You know, I mean, he had an excellent game against Derby, but I feel we're losing goals at the minute with Adam Forshaw playing slightly out of position because I think he is a centre mid rather than a holding midfielder. I just don't see him as a holding midfielder. I see him as better going forward, better at keeping the ball high up the pitch, winning the ball high up the pitch, pressing high up the pitch. I don't see his strength being tracking a midfield runner, trying to knock midfield runners off the ball and that lot, and following runners into the box. I just don't see it as his strength, and I think it showed against Stoke. He wasn't especially bad in that Stoke game. You know, he certainly wasn't. You know, on the ball, he made a lot of things happen. He probably was one of our best. He was our best passer on the day. And for much of the game was probably our best player on the day. But at the crucial moment, that second goal, he lost Joe Allen in the box. We let that second goal go in. And I'm not necessarily having a massive pop at Adam Forshaw. It's not his position at the end of the day. But it is costing us goals. In a certain sense, we're keeping the ball better, I guess. But it's costing us goals. And I just feel that it's a bit of a domino effect, really. Because I want to see Pablo Hernandez playing out wide rather than in the middle. I see Pablo Hernandez as being better on that right-hand side or on the left-hand side, sort of out wide, where he's got a bit more of a free role and he's got a little bit more free reign to create in that lot. I think in the centre-mid position, he's having to be a little bit more disciplined. He's going to have to hold his position. It's more a case of playing little neat combinations, keeping the ball in that middle of the pitch, keeping the possession, ticking over in that lot. I just don't feel it's getting the best out of Pablo at the minute. That's just my personal opinion. All this is just personal opinion. So yeah, I'd have probably looked at that. But look, let's see what the team is at the end of the day. But just go a bit more into Rotherham. I think Rotherham, to be fair, I think the just above the relegation zone at the minute. But I really fancy Rotherham to stay up. I think they've got a lot about them. Very efficient. I think the third lowest possession in the league, but one of the highest in terms of shots a game. So they definitely know how to make things happen. They don't have a lot of the ball, but when they do get the ball, they make something happen. They either attack, they get a set piece, get the ball in the box. They're very direct, but they're direct and they make things happen. I think the perception is with direct teams that it's boring to watch, but to be fair, Rotherham, they've got a real good combination. They really know how to sit off in that lot. They're not really particularly aggressive in the press, but they're just so good at hitting that first ball into Michael Smith and going from there, and they make it happen. I think Bielsa said they have a different style to ours, but it's not necessarily better than ours. It's a lot more direct. It's maybe not as good on the eye as such, if you're a pure football purist point of view. But to be fair, Rotherham at times this season have been really entertaining. They've scored a lot of goals. But I think the main man in that Rotherham team is Will Vaulks. He's probably the only real properly technically gifted player, I'd say. I say for me, Will Vaulks I definitely have in the category as probably one of the best centre mids in terms of if you're looking at sort of the bottom half of the table or mid-table downwards. I think Will Vaulks will beat getting any team from that kind of level. I'm not necessarily saying you get in our team, but I think he's a top player. I think he's someone, if Rotherham did go down, I don't think they keep hold of him. I think he's a really good player. I think it's 5 goals, 3 assists, playing a deeper position as well. I think he's a top player, good off the ball, can tackle, can press, etc. All the things you want. His passing's good. He just looks a really good, talented footballer. Still quite a young player as well. And he's got an eye for goal as well. As I said, with the 5 goals, 3 assists, he scored a lot of wonder goals this season. I think he's a really good player. I think he hit the post against us at Ellen Road, and he put in a really good performance against us at Ellen Road as well. He's probably, for me, the key part of this team. But I just think this Rotherham team, it's got a lot about it. Attacking set pieces and that lot, we cannot underestimate them. But I still say at the start, it's a game we should be expecting to win. I don't want to disrespect Rotherham at all. With the games we've got coming up, the massive game against Norwich, it's just important we make a real statement, I feel. And for me, I would look to have Pablo and Clarkey out wide. I just don't feel Jack Harrison's doing enough to justify a place at the minute. Maybe that's a little bit harsh, but I felt really disappointed on Saturday against Stoke with his performance. And the last thing I wanted to cover really was probably the Matthias Click debate in that lot. I think we're a bit too reliant on Matthias Click to score goals. In that lot, I think I don't think that's necessarily what he's in the team for. I know obviously the song goes, he hits the ball from 40, 50 yards, etc. He scores wonder goals. That isn't his main job in this team for me. I think we've got to be looking a lot more in terms of spreading the goals out and that lot. I just feel going forward we have maybe sort of hit a little bit of the peak a little bit. I'd probably say to an extent. I still know we're getting goals and that lot, but just not quite gelling as much as it was at the start of the season. I just feel it's one of those. I just think it's margins at the minute. I think we could quite easily go to Rotherham and it could really all click and we could win the game comfortably. I just feel like it's coming. Just needs to, I think, just maybe one slight tweak or something. Maybe one slight, different style, decision making and that lot. Pablo having that little bit more of a free role. I just think that could make a massive difference. And to be honest, I think potentially we might be going away from 4-1-4-1. It all depends on the Daniel James rumour and that lot. He's a player Marcelo's really keen on. It's just going to be an interesting game. I think it's just going to be a really good football match. At the start of the season, it was a really intriguing game. I think we all expected Rotherham to really park the bus, but to be fair, Rotherham really gave us a tough game. They restricted us, but they made a lot of things happen. They forced a couple of good saves off Bailey Peacock-Farrell. They made stuff happen, and that's another one to talk about as well. Kiko Garcia making his debut. I think that's key. I think that's really clever off Marcelo Bielsa. In a game like Rotherham, Plenty of set pieces coming into the box, plenty of crosses coming into the box. Someone like Kiko, that little bit more of a presence, just dealing with the crosses, and again on the ball as well. Just to finish off, playing the ball out the back. I think Kiko is a lot more suited to that. I think he's got that strength, that ability to break the press. Play that pass onto Adam Forshaw, play that pass onto Calvin Phillips. Try and chip the ball over to Luke Ayling or Alioski. Just trying to vary the way we pass the ball out the back and sort of break down Rotherham a little bit more, and then get ourselves on the attack, get the more creative players on the ball. And yeah, that's something I feel we've just lacked a little bit against Stoke. We just didn't quite break him down. We just made it a little bit too easy for him. A few too many slideways passes in that lot. I think a lot of that showed with how much possession we had against Stoke. We had a lot of it sort of in our own half and that lot. We just couldn't quite break him down. Obviously, Rotherham's a completely different kind of game, but I just feel maybe just those slight little tweaks, and I just feel it's coming again. I feel we've got a big performance coming. It might not come against Rotherham, it might not come against Norwich, it might come against Borough, etc, etc. I just feel it is coming, a big performance. It's been a bit of a rambling one, this one, but that's my preview for Rotherham anyway. Make sure you check out Conor's preview of the game and Joe's preview of the game, and of course, Friday Night Football tomorrow night. I've been Oscar Marriott, Leeds TV. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.